Anime is so subjective. Oh my goodness, it is so subjective. It is arguably the most subjective medium I have ever encountered, to be quite honest. And I haven't watched it in months. And I'm in the YouTube anime community. How ironic. But there's a good reason for that. I think that most plausible people can agree with me when I say that anime as a whole, for the most part, is ass. It's booty cheeks. It's more booty cheeks than Iggy Azalea's fake disgusting ass. I mean, it's most anime is not good. And when I try to make a commitment to myself, because a lot of people do ask when I'm gonna get back into anime, and when I told myself, okay, new year, I might as well give myself the excuse to try to get into new anime. And I'm not one of the I am trust me, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, new year, new me, right? I'm gonna go to the gym and then I only end up going for a week or so. And it's like, no, okay, I'm giving myself a realistic resolution here, and that is to try to get back into anime gradually. Not that I was ever too extreme of a fan to begin with, but this will at least give me the excuse, right? And so what I did is I picked 5 anime series, assuming that I'm going to hate and drop 4 of them and that I'm going to tolerate one of them. And when I look at this list, man, wow. I mean, I gave up on it for a reason. This season was possibly the worst season to come back to try to get back into anime. My goodness. This is one shitty selection, but I made a promise to myself and my fans who want to see more legitimate reviews or discussions done right. So let's go ahead and go through this rundown. Now, most people do this little what I'm looking forward to in winter anime 2016, you know? Most people do that live and they just read everything over and it takes for fucking ever. For me, I already know what I picked out and I'm going to explain why. So first and foremost, I'm going to be watching Ajin. This episode 1 is going to be coming out in about 14 days. It's going to be made by Polygon Pictures, whoever the fuck that studio is. It's based off of a manga, and listen, man, if people thought the Attack on Titan story, the Attack on Titan manga was underrated or unnoticed before the anime released, Ajin, I think, is taking it to a whole new level. This is expected to be the anime of the season, and I've only heard one person, and trust me, I have a pretty relatively good grasp of the community. I've only heard one person talk about this manga series at all, and it was Code Provider. He gave it heavy praise. So hopefully this series can live up to some of the recommendation of his hype. I do agree that depending on how the series does, I'll have to check out the manga. But I do already hear some people bitching about the anime specifically. Not about the manga, but the anime specifically, where there is going to be some CG involvement, and people are getting upset about that because, you know, it's CG. You hear about it with Berserk. It's like, oh my god, Berserk is going to be ruined, and what's going to happen? But from what I understand, this is supposed to be a series that revolves around demi-humans or people that are immortal. So I can already assume this is going to be one of those series that questions humanity and maybe what it means to be alive, and why scientists are taking the wrong approach to studying these individuals, and what can truly be gained from their existence. And even that sounds a bit generic from what we've seen from previous series, but nevertheless, if it is going to be the anime of the season and it's already this underrated as a story at all, then we can assume that the rest of this list is practically a bunch of no-names, and rightfully so. The next series I'm going to be checking out, and by the way, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, that's all blurred out, or that's, you know, I took a magic marker and just went to town on that series. You don't need to see what that series is, okay? Trust me. But the next series I will be checking out comes out in about 6 days, and it is Dakashi Kashi, which is made by Studio Feel, so I'm expecting to get some feels, hopefully some comedic feels, because the genre is comedy and shonen. I don't know what's so shonen-y about it. Is it that they're two male protagonists or two male characters? I'm not sure. But ultimately, this story revolves around somebody who has a candy shop that they have to inherit from their parents, and he doesn't want to inherit it. But supposedly there is this girl, cute but weird girl, Shidare Hotaru, who is very into sweets, and she really wants to keep this candy store around. It seems like such a pathetically comedic concept that it could actually work. So that is ultimately why I'm looking forward to it. Well, I guess looking forward to it is being too generous. It's what I had to pick, you know? Next up, I'm going to be checking out the Itachi spin-off series from Naruto Shippuden. Now hear me out on this. I mean, I have raved a little bit about this. I have ranted a little bit. The official title is Itachi Shinden Hikari no Yami, or Hikari to Yami. Now what this really means is just it's an Itachi spin-off made by Studio Pierrot, and it's going to have a better budget possibly than the legitimate actual Naruto anime, and we won't get to canon for another year or so. Now, it's based off of a light novel, which is usually a bad sign, but, or no, excuse me, a visual novel. Those are the ones that are horrible. Wait, is it light novel or visual novels that are usually the horrific adaptations of just anything? But we'll just have to see. I mean, it's Naruto related, so I'm tempted to check it out just because I do genuinely like the Naruto series. But really, the way I look at this is ultimately, they're focusing. They might anyway focus more on this than they do the actual story, the actual series, which is in filler right now. And this is technically another filler. It's just with a cooler character because, you know, Itachi, people hear his name, they get wet, they get moist down there. And the Itachi fanboy, the Itachi community is just gonna get nuts when they watch this. So this is actually the one that I'm looking forward to the most, but I think for the wrong reasons. Now we don't know how many episodes, so in other words, we don't know how much this filler is gonna last, and we don't know how many minutes. I can assume it's gonna be more full-length 20-something minute episodes. Next up, I will be watching. This is another light novel adaptation. Episode 1 comes out in about 5 days, and these titles, man. Musaigen no Phantom World, made by Kyoto Animation, which, okay, that's not that good of a track record, but let's not jump to assumptions right away. Although how can't I, right? And this series, well, let me read this premise a little bit. The story takes place in the near future, in a world born of human imagination, which sounds intriguing. So it's kind of like imaginary friends that could be around. What humans would call ghosts or monsters appear, and they come to be called phantoms. Or they could just be called ghosts or monsters. I mean, aren't ghosts technically phantoms and vice versa? Monsters is a bit of a different kind. I'm not overthinking it. Sorry. The main character, Haruhiko Ichigo, is a first year at Hosei Academy along with his upperclassman Mai Kawakami, who fights phantoms with the ability, a spirit of 5 elements. The series is already trying too hard. And it's going to be action, fantasy, supernatural. You can assume, at least this is what I'm assuming, this is one of the better choices out there. I'll be quite honest, I picked this because it looks like it'll be better eye candy than the other animations, the other anime, and it doesn't look like it's going to be one of those perverted ones either. I mean, I don't think I see the main character. Is that the main character kind of like on the upside down stairs or the upside down ladder? What is that? Anyway, so we can assume there's gonna be some fighting with the phantoms, and that's where this series is going. I can't really. I mean, this series certainly has potential, but that's not saying much. I could say that for any of these series. They have potential. Every new series has potential. A lot of them just fuck it up, though. And last but not least from this section, I will be looking into Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, which is made by Studio Dean. Don't know too much about them. It's based off of a manga. Those definitely have a bit better of track records, but it revolves around an individual who was a prisoner, and he is going to be referred to as a bit of an anti-hero, or it's weird. It says anti-hero or dim-witted man. I'm either assuming he's both. I mean, how do those correlate? Are they saying that all anti-heroes are dim-witted men, or is the term just interchangeable, or are those terms just interchangeable? I mean, I'm a bit confused from the get-go, but it's anime, so, you can get away with that, especially when the show hasn't even come out yet, which, by the way, episode 1 comes out in about 7 days. It's expected to have 13 episodes, and we're not familiar with the minutes yet. And I think that this prisoner wants to become a comic artist. He wants to become a mangaka. Yeah, comic storytelling. And he wants to try to become the next Oda. It's drama, and it's josei. Whoa, josei. I was told, what's josei again? Okay, I just noticed that shit. Drama and josei. I feel like I've been told to stay away from those. Is that like one of those gay men type of anime series? Not that I have anything against homosexuals. I'm not interested in watching a series about it. Okay, well, moving on. Plot twist. I picked 6 just to give myself some hope. Just so, because this was a crappy season, I might as well give myself a better chance to try to succeed in making it through at least one of these series this time around. And can you guess which one I'm gonna pick? Sushi Police. Which one just jumps out at you, right? Sushi Police. Episode 1 comes out in 5 days. It is an original series. We're not sure about the number of episodes, but it looks like this is going to be an anime short with 5 minutes per episode. And with the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games around the corner, there's also a worldwide sushi boom. And I'll just stop there. Anything that has sushi and police in the same title is worth me checking out. This better be funny as well. I love how the genres are comedy and police, as if police is a genre. So, that's that. I know I will not be watching as many series as some other individuals out there, but let me know what you think about any of the series I'll be checking out, or anything that you will be checking out. Any first impressions you have before the legitimate first impressions in the comment section below. I am Louis Senpai, and I will see you guys later.